Cheongyeong meditated and reflected on the fact that he had not slept or dreamed since he separated from his body. The master recalled the last words of his disciple. "When that day comes, do not doubt anything." The old man did not understand what Coil was trying to tell him. Meanwhile, Hyun-soo and Hallie woke up. A majestic palace. It was China. Behind the strong doors, they could hear men talking. One of them addressed the president and said that he didn't think it was appropriate to leave the Black Dragon Company in this state. The prime minister said that neither the military nor public security could do it, so they could do it. To which the president replied that the balance in the world is determined by yin and yang. And the Black Dragon, society, is able to control this aspect. Therefore, they have to do something about it. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. An assistant entered the room. She said that the president was on the phone. The man said he had a meeting and would call back. The assistant said it was Chinran from the Black Dragon. The vice president, prime minister, said he would leave for a minute and talk to her. He introduced himself and said his name, Teeny Shidun. He was talking to a girl named Chinran Hojanim. The men were annoyed that they remained under the control of the Black Dragon. On the phone, the man heard information about the portal. The girl said that the portal would soon explode. Hearing this, the colleagues became tense. Hojanim also said that it would happen in the Tibetan plateau. But for now, she asked to keep this information secret. Airport. A voice came from behind the girl. A man asked if Hojanim really wanted to go there, and she replied that they had already started the operation and shouldn't stop. The man said that right now Korea is under a terrorist attack. The girl replied that the committee had said that the attack had already been neutralized. However, the man still said there were risks. The same goes for the last fragment of paradise. Hadza said that she wanted to do everything quietly, so stopped talking. She ordered her husband to follow her. Meanwhile, Korea. The portal was opened again in Hyun-soo's house. The hero was training. The king was the main enemy he would have to fight. Hyun felt someone's presence when he entered Hallie's mind. The young man did not understand what level he had to reach to defeat the king. He continued to train and smash his chest against the stone. Park Hyunsoo had been training for a long time. He told himself that he had to get stronger. The master praised him. Hyun smiled. Cheongyeong said that the boy had a strange expression on his face. The hero asked the master what he had just said. The teacher repeated that the student had done a good job. This surprised the young man. After all, the teacher has been strict lately. The master did not like this behavior of the disciple. In a moment, he was scolding the boy. Hyun said that this made Cheon look more like himself. The old man ordered him to come over and slap Hyun. Association headquarters. The sun's rays reflected off the panel on the head's desk. The man was slowly looking through a document. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. The man allowed them to enter. A woman entered the office. She said that a buyer had come. The head replied that it was very sudden. Suddenly, without waiting for permission, Chinran Hojanim burst into the office. The man was happy to see her. The girl replied that they had not seen each other for a long time. Chinran was ranked third among the S ranks. She was a member of the Black Dragon Union. At first glance, the girl looked young, but she was actually 77 years old. The heroine said that due to the restrictions, she becomes younger when she uses her ability. She said that the head was quite uncultured, because he did not even offer a cup of tea. The man immediately called his assistant to bring the tea. But the girl said she had changed her mind and wanted coffee. The drinks were brought. The head asked why she came so unexpectedly. Chinran replied that a portal had formed on the Tibetan plateau. Its concentration is now about 82. The man said that in this case, it was necessary to evacuate the residents immediately. The girl replied that there was a small town that had already been evacuated. She was also asked to keep her information confidential to avoid panic. The head thought that if even she was involved, the situation was serious. But Shinran told him an interesting thing. That only one person can enter this portal. And it had to be a man. No one knows what is inside. In addition, none of those who entered have returned. The head said they were probably all dead. Shinran had no idea what happened to them. So she suggested that Park Hyunsoo enter the portal. The man tensed up. Sitting in the office, the head of the association and Shinran continued to talk. The man said that it was not necessary to send the young man to clear an ordinary portal. But the girl replied that this was no ordinary portal. It was labeled as an S-rank portal. The director was confused. At that time, the streets of China. A large luxurious house. Inside, the president was sitting and talking to someone. He asked the owner to pour tea. He turned to the man across from him and told him that Shinran had informed Sherdong about the portal on the Tibetan plateau. The man agreed with this statement and said that this was why Shinran was now traveling to Korea. This man's name was Chan, and he was a subordinate of the Dark King. He was one of the pawns. At that time, the head of the association invited Park Hyunsoo to his place. He took him to a room where a girl was waiting for him. The hero was confused. The room was on fire. The head did not understand what was happening. It was hard for him to breathe. Hyun came up behind him and touched the man. The head was able to normalize his breathing with this. The man replied that someone had decided to play a prank. Shinran sat down on the couch and said that was what she expected from an S rank. She offered to sit down to the guy. The hero replied that it was too rude for a greeting. The girl replied that she simply could not entrust this task to just anyone. She introduced herself and said that she belonged to the Black Dragon Union. Shinran said that the more she uses her power, the younger she becomes. This is a limitation of her abilities. That is why she looks so beautiful now. She immediately warned the boy not to think that she was being rude. A few minutes passed. Hyun got up to speed. She asked if the boy wanted to try it. Hyun asked a counter question and asked why she chose him. Shinran said that only one person could enter the portal. Besides, Hyun is the most famous hunter right now. And also because Hyun is a singularity. The last hope of humanity to fight the dragon of destruction. The girl wanted to see it with her own eyes and make sure that the singularity could really save everyone. Although this dungeon in the portal is designed for one person, it is still S rank. So it's likely that the guy will die. But if Hyun survives, the girl said she would do everything in her power to support the hero. The young man agreed, because first of all, the S rank portal is a threat to all mankind. The hero agreed and shook hands with Shinran. On the way out, the guy asked what the girl's schedule was. Finally, the girl told Hyun to say goodbye to his family, because she was not sure whether he would survive or not. The boy was confused by this mood. He said that he was always there for him, so there was nothing to worry about. Besides, he felt much stronger now. In the middle of a sunny day, a meeting of thieves was taking place in a majestic palace. They emphasized that the horse was dead. However, one of the men said that the horse had destroyed itself to avoid being tortured. A man named Saldin, one of the pawns, laughed and said that he was surprised that this idiot could make the right decision. Suddenly, Chan banged on the table, telling Saldin to watch his mouth, because their friend had died. Saldin continued to laugh, which made Chan even more angry. The dark-skinned big man said this was no time for arguments. He turned to his closest person, a girl named Bishop. The man asked the girl to temporarily take the place of the horse. Saldin asked if he could be the knight instead of the pawn. A girl named Katrina, who was also a pawn, said that this would never happen in her life. Saldin told her to be quiet. Suddenly, a man with a cross on his forehead told them both to be quiet. It was Bordix. He was also a pawn. The big man sighed in silence. He said that neither of them was worthy of being the knight. The man said that the king had already made a decision about this. Suddenly the big man asked Chan how things were going in China. Chan replied that it would be easy to take advantage of their greed. The chairman said that Bishop would take care of the portal, so Chan should focus on his mission. Chan said that he would not leave a wet spot for the Dragon of Cheongyeon. The boss dismissed everyone, except for Bishop. The man said it had been a long time since they had been able to talk alone. The man said that he had heard that Park Hyunsoo had agreed to the portal raid. The girl said she was looking forward to it. Meanwhile, the plane with the hero had already arrived in China. People were getting off the plane. The young man also stepped off the plane with a deliberate step. He hoped that someone would meet him. Suddenly, he heard someone's voice calling out his name. A man named Khan approached him. He said it was an honor to meet the boy. 3 days later, the streets of China. A stern man in a red jacket stood in one of the rooms. He said that their group was an association of 3 alliances. For generations, they had dominated the Chinese and global market. But all of that was destroyed as soon as Chinran and her Black Dragon Union appeared. Because of their harassment, the association of the 3 alliances completely disappeared. The man in the red jacket called himself Chan Wu-fei, the head of the Greed organization. He ordered them to pay attention to their new name, Greed. Chong Wu said that they would keep trying until they destroyed the Black Dragon Society. All the participants supported the leader and also shouted his slogans. The man said that all they had to do was trust him, and he would lead them into a new era. Our days. A hospital. Hyun-tae's room. The doctor said that there were no changes in his condition. It must have been hard for Yoon to visit her brother every day. It was only because of her that Hyun-soo felt at ease. The old man said that his gratitude could be expressed by transferring a few bucks. The master said that now it was time to go to the fire woman. When he saw the woman, the hero noticed that Ha-yurek's hair was redder than before. When they met, the girl said that she had heard about Chinran asking for help. Ha-yurek told him to prepare properly. Chinran should help him with the equipment. Hyun noticed that the girls seemed to know each other well. Ha-yurek replied that although the age difference was quite large, the 2 friends were the only girls among the S ranks. Yaha asked the boy to return alive. He told her not to doubt him. Hyun said that he had even experienced a piece of heaven. He stood up and said goodbye and that they would see each other again. The young man left. After Hyun-soo left the room, the girl was anxious. She raised her hand and tried to use fire. Her strength began to return, but not as quickly as she wanted. So the hero arrived in China. The man who met the young man led him in the right direction. The assistant noticed that Hyun-soo's Chinese was quite good. The young man said that he doesn't really speak Chinese. He was just using an earpiece to translate. The master said that a real nightingale shouldn't reveal his secrets so easily. The assistant walked the young man to his car. The guy was delighted. He had never ridden in such an expensive car. The drive took about 4 hours. The young man thought it would be much faster if he flew. Even such cool cars are not so comfortable now. Suddenly, he heard a sound through the window. When he turned his head, he saw an explosion. Hyun asked the driver to stop the car to find out what happened. But the assistant assured him that this happens from time to time. But today, the man was instructed to just calmly deliver the hero to his destination. The man assured him that someone else would take care of it, so he shouldn't worry. The car drove into the headquarters. This is the main headquarters of the Black Dragon's office. Park Hyun remarked that it was really fascinating in real life. The master also liked this place. It reminded him of his world. But only the chairman could use that place. So the boy was brought to a slightly different place. The hero was happily met by Chinran. The young man felt a little embarrassed because of the excessive attention. After introducing the young man, the girl said that she had dressed a little nicely today, because it was not every day that such guests arrived. After pouring tea, she began to listen to Hyun-soo. The boy said that there was an explosion on the road. The girl replied that it was the work of the greed organization. The hero asked what these scum wanted. Shinran said that their goal was to destroy the Black Dragon. This is because the Black Dragon destroyed the entire black market. The drug cartel, the market, the casino, and everything else they owned. Hyun said he should have done something about it. But the girl stopped him and said that it was China's business. Since the guy had arrived, he should concentrate on the portal. Shinran said that she had something for the young man before he left. Cheongyeon whispered that it was probably an elixir. It was actually an A-ranked item that they had obtained 6 months ago in a raid on an A-ranked portal. It is a single copy, so no one knows the effects it will have. The hero was delighted to be entrusted with such an item. The girl said that her task was to maximize the guy's chances of survival. Shinran noted that Hyun is one of those who must save humanity, and he is the closest to becoming a savior among all of them. Therefore, the young man has a great responsibility. The master told him to hurry up and take this mysterious thing. The girl asked Han's assistant to take the boy to his chambers. The girl noticed something interesting. The guy was using telekinesis to hold the gift in the air above his head. Hyun said that it would be much safer to carry it that way. The master was surprised that the young man had learned this so quickly, because it requires skillful control of the brain. It was late in the evening. The hero was shown to his room and told that if he needed anything, he could ask. Cheongyeong was eager to open the case and look at the artifact. The master said that they had an emergency because the young man had decided to activate the thinking technique without permission. The old man said that Hyun should have felt this strange sensation. The boy understood what he was talking about. He felt as if the young man's brain had doubled in size. The teacher said this meant that the boy had a low level of thinking. Since the boy's intelligence had not increased, it turns out that Hyun had simply opened and activated a part of him that had been dormant. If he can take control of it, he will reach the highest level and break through into the realm of evolution. The hero was surprised. If Hyun ate this elixir, his level of thinking would increase. The guy would just be able to maintain a high level more easily. The thinking used by the young man for telekinesis absorbs a lot of internal energy. Therefore, it needs to be increased quickly. Hyun put the fruit in his mouth and began to eat. He was overcome with strange sensations. He began to tense up. The master brought his palms closer to speed up the process. The body began to respond to the new yang energy. The yang energy exceeded the yin energy. The master began his ritual by touching the student. The inner energy of the celestial demon did not want to accept the new yang energy. The master ordered him not to relax his concentration. The inner energy of the celestial demon tried to control the yang energy. He was straining more and more. But the energy was not under his control. Hallie was worried about Hyun-soo, because he was getting hotter and hotter. The hero began to feel serious pain. Morning. Han's assistant knocked on Hyun-soo's door. He said he had brought food for the boy. But no one answered. The man said he didn't feel the boy's presence. He took his gun and began to slowly open the door. As soon as the man's foot crossed the threshold, he quickly took a fighting stance and was ready to fight. But he didn't see anyone. The guy's room was a complete mess. Khan did not understand what had happened here. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Hyun appeared, scaring the man. Han asked what was going on. The hero honestly answered that he was absorbing the elixir that was given to him. So it was quite complicated. Hyun decided to check the statistical interface. It showed that the internal energy of the celestial demon had successfully absorbed the powerful yang energy. However, because the balance of yin and yang was upset, the body of yin and yang was erased. The inner energy of the mystical arts is trying to awaken. The sleeping body of the celestial demon, level 0, has awakened. The body of a celestial demon requires a higher level of form. Overall, the boy's physical and mystical strength increased by 150%. The old man noticed that they could barely cope. Hyun said that if they had made a mistake, he could have been crippled. But now the hero felt superior. Chan, who hadn't left the room yet, thought that the young man was talking to himself under the influence of the elixir. The assistant asked if the young man wanted to move to another room. But Hyun-soo assured him that everything was fine. Then Chan left the food and left the hunter. The old man impatiently ordered the meal to be opened. Hyun-soo slowly lifted the lid. And there was Peking duck. Cheongyeon remarked that the dish didn't look as tasty as chicken. The boy was outraged by these words, because it was one of the most popular dishes in China. Without thinking twice, the boy gave the master a piece to try. He immediately asked him how the old man would rate it. The old man liked it, but he said that ramen was still tastier. So he asked the young man to cook the ramen. Hyun was surprised. After the characters had eaten breakfast, Hyun left his room. When he met Chinrin, she said that the young man seemed like a different person. She thought that maybe she should have done it herself and absorbed the elixir. The girl asked why the boy had come to her. Hyun-soo had one request. He wanted to practice. Chinran took him to the training room. The super strong gate leading to the room opened in front of the hero. The girl noticed that the boy was already eager to train. He wanted to try the elixir as soon as possible. Hyun noticed that it was quite deep. Chinran told him that it was built to withstand a nuclear attack. She said that Hyun would be able to practice without holding back. It was her personal training ground. Hyun asked if she could destroy it. Chinran pointed out that she was the head of the Black Dragon Union, so she might not be able to destroy everything. The boy walked over to the stone wall and touched it to make sure it was solid. In a moment, the boy struck out. The stone wall was unable to withstand the impact, cracked completely, and then collapsed. Hyun did not use his full strength. The girl was stunned. Her abilities had indeed increased by 150%. It was incredible. I should try to control my internal energy and create a hole, Hyun thought. He concentrated and stretched out his hand. The hero tried to deliver a steady and clear blow. The stones scattered in all directions, but Hyun-soo did not achieve the necessary clarity. He was a little desperate. The master said that the body of the celestial demon had not yet recognized him. Cheongyeon asked what he was going to do about it. The master said that the body of a celestial demon contains all memories, martial arts, and cultivation techniques. It also contains the teachings of all the celestial demons who came before him. The body of a celestial demon is like a living creature in itself. It does not consider Hyun-soo to be a shigden. The boy asked what he should do. The master said that the only way out was to become worthy. The memories of his predecessors cannot be explained. The young man must experience everything himself. He has to dive into the memories and find his own way to become worthy. Chinran thought there was something wrong with the young man, even though he was just meditating. The hero was concentrating on his thoughts. The first celestial demon is Jeom Sunday. At level 0, these memories are currently closed. The second celestial demon is Taegwon. His memories were also closed to level 0. It seems that the guy's memories were blocked too long ago. The third, fourth, and fifth celestial demons were also blocked. But finally, the young man reached the possible level of access. It was the 10th heavenly demon. Hyun noticed that the mystical martial arts of the celestial demons of the past were very different from those of today. 11th heavenly demon. It seems that the 11th was very interested in medicine. The 21st celestial demon, despite his cold appearance, used explosive martial arts. It was he who completed the technique of blowing up the heavens. The 27th one was radically different. Watching the boy meditate, Cheongyeong thought that it seemed the boy had begun to see and understand the memories of his predecessors. The 27th celestial demon was Ryujang. His energy techniques were of the highest level. But there was a period when he, like Hyun-soo, could not control his inner energy. Ryujang was able to find a way to control his inner energy with the help of an exceptional technique, namely, the mystical circulation of the celestial demon. It was the most powerful technique for circulating internal energy in history. He dissolves the energy and makes it reach every part of the body. Every cell of the body is interconnected with energy. The guy had to concentrate. He had to move it to the Baihu point in one stroke and then release it to the Weilu point. Meanwhile, Shanghai, King Chang's pawn, was sitting in his office and telling the man across the desk that he had seen a terrorist attack near the Acroport. The man replied that it was all thanks to Chan. The thief asked if there was a Qian in net this time. The man said yes. After all, the company of greed wanted to show the world what they could do. Chan offered to intervene in the Cheongyeon Dragon Society. Chan Wufei said yes, even though he was only a rank. He could risk his life in this battle. He said that they would have a chance of winning if Chinran did not intervene. Chan asked why Wufei shouldn't become an S rank. The man held out a mysterious box. The director asked what it was, to which Chan replied that it was dominance and immortality rolled into one. It is capable of awakening the forces deep within a person and bringing them to the peak of power for as long as 10 minutes. However, after that, the one who uses it will suffer unbearable pain all over their body. Wu Fei thought about it. He did not know what to do. Chan told him that he would receive S-rank power, and if he was lucky, even more. The man was surprised. He knew that he could not just use it for nothing. The man called the guard over. In a moment, he offered the fruit to his subject. Chan was worried that the effect might confuse Wu Fei. When the guard swallowed the fruit, he began to feel suffocated. His body began to demorph. Wings grew on his back. His arms became strong and scary, like a monster's. The guard grew in size, so his clothes and shoes were torn. He completely turned into a monster and screamed in pain. The director was really scared. Later, the guard, who was AC rank, felt the power of an A rank. He could feel the power overwhelming his body. Wu Fei liked this effect. He thought that it would only be a matter of time before the Qianan sect would be overrun. Chan calmly finished his drink. And Wu Fei thought that with this kind of power, he could destroy anyone. At the time, Hyun was still in the training room. He completed the meditation and received the legendary Heavenly Demon Circulation tip. The level 0 Heavenly Demon body gradually began to recognize the young man. The level of the Heavenly Demon body rose to the first. The effects of martial arts that used mystical arts would be increased by 170%. All physical abilities were also increased by 170%. Cheongyeong praised the boy. The hero was overwhelmed with power. He decided to try his hand at it. The mystical circulation of the celestial demon collects internal energy that the boy could not control before. Hyun used the crushing fists of the heavenly demon, the seed punch. The concentrated, directed punch broke through several walls in a row. The guy created a hole, just as he wanted. Now he could contain the energy and channel it exactly as he intended. Shinran was shocked. Hallie and the master praised the boy. Such control could be considered a success. But Hyun wanted to try something else. Meanwhile, the Tibetan plateau. Bishop and the assistant were standing near the portal. The girl was outraged that the portal was rolling out very slowly and reaching its peak energy. She had been planning this for a long time. The thought of Park Hyunsoo's suffering was driving her crazy. Suddenly, the pawn Chan arrived at her side. The girl asked how her husband was doing with their squadron. Chan replied that Wu Fei had first used a C-rank reinforcement. The effect lasted for 11 minutes, but after that the man died. He could not withstand the power. Bishop said that people are too weak, but still, the C rank lasted 11 minutes. The girl handed some device to Chan. She told him that with this device, he could blow up people who tasted the dominance of an immortal. She ordered him to kill them as soon as they became useless. She also asked to prepare Choi Jae-hyuk. It was a sunny day. People were walking in a fresh courtyard. Suddenly there was an explosion. People started to panic and run away in different directions. It was the terrorists. They gathered on the roof of one of the buildings and unfurled a large flag of their organization, Greed. Wu Fei said it was time for the world to know that the time of greed had come. Meanwhile, Hyun continued to test his abilities. The boy was having fun combining and subduing energy. It seemed very cool to him. Cheongyeon thought that black energy was a distinctive feature of a celestial demon's body, so the boy was using something else. The master asked if the hero was using mana now. Yes, he was. Hyun-soo was combining the mystical circulation of the celestial demon with mana, and the old man just applauded and praised his disciple. The young man was surprised and embarrassed that his teacher was praising him so much. It even moved him to tears. Suddenly, Chinren said that there was an emergency. She picked up the phone and was informed of a terrorist attack. Hyun used, detecting the destructive energy of the demon fist's heavenly energy. The waves of energy spread over a large area. Chinren said she had to go to save the day. Hunter Park said he would go as well. After all, if it was the guys from Greed, they had to stop them before more people got hurt. Hunter Hyun couldn't stand by, even though it wasn't legally his territory. The girl said it was more like his style. Without listening, Hyun shouted out that he would fly first and quickly took off into the sky. The girl thought the hero was very cool. At that time, the Greed continued terrorism. They took people prisoner and ordered them not to move. Suddenly, Wu Fei called the call center of the Black Dragon organization. The man rudely started shouting and setting his conditions. The main one was that Chinren should send 100 billion yuan within 30 minutes. Otherwise, all civilians would be killed. Suddenly, the terrorists started shooting into the sky because they saw something. The men were shouting that the Black Dragon could not save them, because they had been brainwashing people all along. In fact, they don't care about people. But the silhouette of Znadska was not far away. The criminals opened fire. Dozens of bullets flew at the stranger. But all of them were repelled. The men thought that it was someone from the Black Dragon Union. Hyun-soo appeared before the thieves. He asked who gave the terrorists the right to kill people. He said that if he had a real body, he would have killed every single one of them. He told the boy not to feel sorry for the bastards. The young man did not doubt his teacher's words. The men thought Hyun was crazy because he was talking to himself. The hero picked up the disarming devices, bullets, and threw them at the terrorists at supersonic speed. The men were hit in a flash. Wu Fei said on the phone that the Black Dragon had sent someone. He was ordered to use the trump card. The order was unquestioningly carried out. The terrorists began to eat the immortality pills. Hyun was surprised by what he saw. The men turned into monsters. People were terrified. The monsters were filled with endless aggression and power. The boy noticed that it looked like the horse was eating. He realized that the terrorists were connected to the king. The master said that in their world, they made similar drugs. These drugs showed frightening tendencies of people. The 7 monsters headed for the hero. Park Hyunsoo was not afraid for a moment. He quickly dodged the attack. But a monster still came at the young man from behind, and Hyun turned around and struck a critical blow. The attack was so powerful that the monster died on the spot. Wu Fei was very surprised, because he had never heard of someone so powerful from the Black Dragon Union. He realized that it was a touch OS rank. The man had no choice but to strengthen himself. Without thinking, he swallowed the fruit. Flashes flashed in the sky. Chan appeared out of thin air. He was watching Hyun-soo fight. The boy went up against 7A ranks, and he didn't strain at all. From this, the man concluded that Hyun had long ago jumped over the strongest S ranks on Earth. Everything did not go according to plan. Suddenly, someone appeared next to the pawn. It was Chinren. Chan was frightened. She guessed that Chan was a subordinate of the king. She said that it was not cool to help terrorists. So she expected to get a lot of information from the man when she captured him. Chan asked if the girl would be okay. She didn't realize he had no wasi. Chan replied that if the girl gets even younger, it won't be good for her. Chinren said that the man should be rude to her. Now she changed her mind about letting him live. Meanwhile, the fight with Hyun-soo continued. Wu Fei was different now. He was overwhelmed with power. His whole face was on fire. The thief thanked the boy. He thanked him for being super powerful. People were terrified of the monster. Hyun thought that he should get the civilians out first. The hero used the technique of matter to create magical arms. With these giant arms, he embraced the crowd. The monster noticed that the boy had a very strange technique. But that wouldn't stop him from killing all the people, and the hero Wu Fei was furious. He pointed his fiery tongue at the hero. Park Hyunsoo just smiled. He decided to use the mystical arts. His eyes were filled with energy. It was the heaven-falling technique. Hyun instantly destroyed the thief's wards in this way. Wu Fei tensed up. At that time, Chinren attacked Chan. She launched powerful energy attacks, which the pawn could hardly cope with. He realized that he was losing. The girl closed her lips and blew a powerful wave at the thief. Chan's swords broke. The weapon took the brunt of the attack. Hyun continued to fight. The hero decided to use the crushing fists of the heavenly demon. The monster replied that it wouldn't work on him, because he had become one with nature. The hero used the root punch. Hallie was delighted, because even with his hands, he could extinguish the fire. The master said it was very simple. However, the flames from Wu Fei were spreading and harming civilians. Hyun reacted quickly and used the mystical arts again. The hero generated a territorial barrier. Now the flames did not reach the civilians. People thanked the hero. They did not know their savior by name. Someone shouted out that he was a hunter from Korea, Park Hyunsoo. The old man asked if it was his own equipment. The young man said that he was simply combining mana with the mystical circulation of a celestial demon. Hyun looked at the teacher. He noticed that the boy had managed to tap into the mystical circulation. It is quite difficult, but he did it. Otherwise, Cheongyeong would have been disappointed. The hero flew into the sky to help the girl. At this time, Chan barely dodged Chinren's attack. It was hard for him. He could no longer feel the energy of the A ranks. It looks like they've lost, he thought. Chinren said that if the criminal did not surrender voluntarily now, he would be picking himself up in pieces in a moment. Chan thought if he lost now and got caught, the organization would abandon him. Now he understood what the horse was feeling. The man began to concentrate and become energized. The girl looked at him in surprise. The man began to turn into a monster. He gained extraordinary strength. All this time, the monster had been hiding his true form. He directed the balls of energy at the heroine and said that she could say goodbye to her life. The girl didn't want to get younger, but it seemed she had no choice. There was no need for that, Hyun-soo said. The hero arrived on time and used the leaf punch. Chan started laughing hysterically. Hyun used Hallie's help. He formed a spawn that increased his damage. The hero grabbed the bastard by the neck and squeezed it tightly. He screamed in pain. The body of the villain did not move. Chan asked what the hell he was doing. The guy lightly punched the thief and noticed that the thief could not keep up with him. The boy said he would finish him off with one punch. But at the last moment, a girl stopped him. She said that he shouldn't just kill him. The girl said that Chan was a pawn of the king. At that time, in the Chinese government building, men in suits were running down the corridor. They broke into one of the doors. It was the office of the vice prime minister. The men pointed their guns and said that the man was arrested for treason. But in a moment, they saw a bad picture. The vice prime minister was shot dead by his own hands. Meanwhile, in the Tibetan mountains, Bishop was holed up in a secret building. She was told that Chan had been captured alive. This was not part of their plans. However, the big man said it didn't matter, because they still had data on the immortal's dominance. Bishop could not think that the horse had kept some things for himself alone. A figure in knightly armor appeared in front of the entrance. The big man said that if they managed to capture Park Hyunsoo this time, they needed to check a few things. He asked if Elibza could get Anderson to talk. Anderson. It seems she needs Anderson's abilities, the girl said. It seemed funny, because they lived together and didn't know that their will was alien. Newman Elibza. The war that happened on the planet Arya, those powerful Aryans they fought with. The thieves won, but the will of the Aryans was used on Earth. The big man asked if the girl was scared, and she said that everything was possible, because a singularity had appeared. The man replied that the king was on their side, but he believed in the girl. The armored figure's eyes glowed red. After a while, Chan was taken to the lab. The man was lying on a bunk. A gene sample was taken from him, and all preparations were completed. It was much more effective than interrogation. Anderson said that Chan would be shocked when he saw his clone after waking up. Raven and Chinran watched the action. Raven said that it looked like Park Hyunsoo had once again contributed. Chinran said that from the outside it looked like it was a warm-up for the hero. If it wasn't for him, it would have been harder for the girl. She said that he was already stronger than Haxon. The man thought that Isaac was wandering in circles compared to Hyun-soo. Perhaps it was time for him to exceed it, although he should be careful. Raven asked if Anderson was done with the analysis of surpassing the Immortal's umbrella. Anderson replied that he would have to work on surpassing the Immortal, but he was done with the umbrella. Although the technology is quite strange, it has the same functions as the portal generator he created. In the near future, they will be able to use the portals to move around. Raven said he had to go now. Chinran said to say hello to Armand. The man assured her that he would be upset that he couldn't see the girl. The girl said she would be busy and had to take care of something. Raven asked if the girl had planned it for tomorrow. Chinran was outraged that the man was prying into her future. The hunter replied that he could not control it. Finally, she explained that she should have learned to do so by now. Meanwhile, in the Tibetan mountains, the portal was in full swing. Park Hyunsoo and Chinran arrived at their destination. The hero was equipped with the A-ranked Black Dragon cannon, his ring from the world of Halley, a B-ranked shield that was invisible, and another A-ranked artifact around his neck. The girl said that with such a weapon, the boy should return alive. The hero moved to the portal. Suddenly he heard the hum of a helicopter engine. It was the people from the Black Dragon. They were looking for the head of Chinran. The man was told that she had gone with Park Hyunsoo to the portal, but the officers couldn't get closer because of the portal's great pressure. Therefore, no one was currently protecting Chinran's head. In a moment, the girl was already at the helicopter. She said she didn't need protection. She said that Park Hyunsoo had already entered the portal. Chinran asked to turn off the engine because she couldn't hear him. Now all she could do was hope for the boy and wait. Meanwhile, Hyun was already in another world. The hero found himself in the middle of an unusual forest. The forest. Entering it with the boy, Cheongyeong noticed that this place didn't look as scary as the fragment of paradise, although there was something frightening here. Suddenly, Hyun-soo felt something approaching. At the last moment, he dodged the attack. He did not realize what it was. The shock wave cut the trees in half like a spear. An energy explosion went off in the depths of the forest. The teacher assured me that it was some kind of amplified energy. Suddenly, a silhouette appeared out of nowhere, as if attacking again with distinct waves. The boy reacted quickly, and used the shield Chinran had given him. In a moment, a barrier sphere appeared around the young man. However, the waves passed through the shield and broke it. Flying on, they cut everything in their path, even the rocks. Hyun was surprised that the enemy had broken through the B-rank barrier so easily. Hyun-soo was getting annoyed. He shouted for the enemy to stop hiding, but he didn't hear anything in response. It seems that the stranger decided to attack from behind. In this case, the guy intended to forcefully open the bad guy. He used the Black Dragon cannon. In a moment, Hyun fired. A powerful volley came out of the cannon. It flew through the branches of the trees and exploded in the middle of the forest. Cheongyeong noticed that it was quite powerful. It seemed that the power of the gun depended on the strength of the carrier. The hero shouted out that if the thief didn't appear immediately, he would destroy the entire forest. Suddenly the hunter heard a voice. It was an unknown creature. It said that this was its forest. The hero did not know what it was. It seemed to be a mystical creature of this forest. It was furious. It shouted loudly why they were destroying its forest. The sound wave was very powerful. Even Hyun-soo was negatively affected by it. She shouted for the hero to leave her forest alone. Hyun-soo withstood the shock. He was surprised how it was possible to make such powerful attacks with your voice. He realized that his opponent was quite strong. In a moment, she quickly flew into another attack. In a second, the opponent was near the hero. The boy tried to dodge. The girl was quite fast. The hunter even had to use acceleration. This helped him to bounce a centimeter before the blow. Hyun flew away rapidly at 30 meters. The fox was surprised that she didn't make it. The opponent multiplied the attack and released a lot of energy claws. The boy used a cloud of scattered skies. The attacks merged and created an explosion. The girl realized that the opponent was no pushover. Hyun didn't think that even with his speed, he would have a hard time. The girl, in turn, did not believe that there was someone so powerful among people. But she was not going to give up. The opponent moved toward the hero with a powerful attack. The master advised to defend herself with the help of energy arts. Listening to instructions activated. Hyun used the fall of the heavens. The fox was concerned about the hero's actions. In a moment, energy rays fell from the sky. They exploded from all sides, and the girl had a hard time. In addition, the young man used lightning. The current struck his opponent. She could not do anything. The girl started to fall. She regrouped in flight and landed safely. The heroine was angry. She said that the boy had taken the forest from her and was now trying to kill her. However, Hyun was surprised because he had no intention of doing so. The aggressive girl said that only he would die here. She used a more powerful attack. The boy had time to react, but he was not fast enough to dodge. He was pierced by energy claws. The hero Park Hyunsoo was injured. The girl shouted that the guy got what he deserved. He fell to the ground from the fox's attack. His outerwear was burned. Cheongyeon encouraged him to get up. The opponent went to finish off the enemy with all her might. Suddenly, the hero's ring flashed. The ability to deflect damage was activated. Hyun-soo felt a surge of energy. The fox was about to strike with all its might. A huge beam of energy was directed at the hero. When the fox charged and struck, she thought she had killed Hyun-soo. But she was disappointed by what she saw. The young man was not there. He jumped up with incredible speed. The master was surprised that the student's body had already recovered. And that was not all. He was able to endure all the damage received by the boy against the same opponent. The fox was critically injured and in excruciating pain. The girl was choking on blood. Because of this, she had to take extreme measures. A bright flash. Smoke formed around the heroine. A silhouette appeared in front of Hyun-soo. He tensed at what he saw. The girl changed her appearance. She did not think that the hero would make her take this form. The young man didn't understand where the red fox had gone. Cheongyeon told him not to forget that she was a mystical creature. The girl seductively approached and asked if the young man did not recognize her. Looking at the mystical stranger, the guy saw the same 7 tails and fluffy ears. She said that she could not maintain this form for too long. However, 5 seconds would be enough to kill the invader. By touching, the girl began to influence Hyun-soo's body. He couldn't move. The master said that it was enough to sippen when girls touch him. The hero recoiled. In this case, the girl said she would destroy the guy by force. She enveloped him with energy rings. Hyun felt pain. There are still 19 minutes left before the damage reflection ability recharges. The guy started to fall. However, in the flight, he remembered his purification artifact. Purification A+ was activated. The hunter removed all negative effects and restored himself. The fox was outraged. The old man said that the boy was definitely starting to cheat. Hyun replied that there are only a couple of A+ ranked items in the world. The boy said that he could speed up the recharge of the damage reflection and return. The teacher ordered him to distract the opponent for now, and then launch a flurry of attacks. The hero used the fall of the heavens once again. The heroine said that his attacks would not work the second time. She repelled the attack. The young man knew that he was still not fully utilizing these techniques, but even in this state, they are powerful. And the fact that the girl had fought back was stressful. But Hyun-soo was not disappointed. It was just a warm-up. So the young man decided to use the sixth technique of the heaven-destroying demonic fists, the heavenly spiritual body. The hero quickly flew toward his opponent. The girl said that such tricks would not work against her. She had time to react, but Hyun was sure that she would not be able to block such an attack. The fox began to form an energy layer with its scream. It grew larger, and in a moment flew at the boy. The warrior kept walking toward it without stopping. The magical sphere had wounded him, so the blow could not be of maximum power a priori. Hyun reached the target. There was a powerful explosion, and smoke spread around. The girl was injured. And so was Hyun. He did not expect the spiritual body to fail. Neither did the girl expect that the young man would be able to harm her. The callers looked at each other. The fox was fascinated by how strong the boy was, because he was able to pull out the girl's eighth tail. It concentrated its strength and released powerful energy claws. Hyun-soo urgently called for Hallie. The glove gave him 50% of his attack power. In addition, the hero decided to use a spiritual body. But this time, not his own. He imitated the spiritual body of Master Cheongyeon. In an instant, he was overwhelmed with tremendous energy. The hunter quickly moved to attack. The girl thought that the young man was trying in vain. She released her energy. The boy did not stop either. In a second, he reached his opponent and hit her as hard as he could. After that, a huge energy sphere was formed at the place of the collision, which shone with the brightness of 10 suns. The blow was of infinite power. The unconscious girl fell down. She fell in the middle of the forest. Park Hyunsoo believed that the girl had no chance against such an attack. Cheongyeon confirmed his student's words. The fox could barely breathe. But she was still alive. She was terrified at the thought of someone so strong in the world. Cheongyeon said that the girl was strong, but it was time to kill her with one blow. The hunter took a swing. But the girl managed to say something. The guy stopped. The girl said that this forest belonged to her and Reina. Suddenly she plunged into memories. There were explosions in the forest. There were explosions all over the forest. Reina said that those terrible people came from another world. The girl thought that they might all die. But her sister assured her that she would protect them and the whole forest. The girl picked a mushroom and said that today they would have mushroom soup for dinner. Suddenly, a voice came from far away. People were shouting that they had found a fox. In a moment, men with guns surrounded her. The girl said that they had stirred her up. After all, she was the owner of this forest. Loudly exclaiming, the men died on the spot. They could not do anything. The fox wondered what these people were looking for and why they were here. Suddenly a voice came from behind him. It was Bishop. She said they were looking for her. As it turned out, the fox's name was Iris. Reina ordered her sister to run away. At this time, in real time, Hyun-soo put on an A+ grade artifact and used purification. It was the last time he used the item, because it was broken after the last use. But Hyun-soo didn't care. Iris barely opened her eyes. Then she sat up briskly and saw a guy standing next to her. She asked him if he had healed her. The young man watched her silently. As it turned out, the hero had seen the girl's memories, and he said that he had not come to kill her. Iris asked him why he didn't want to go to the forest. Hyun-soo said that this place is a portal, and she's a prisoner in it. The guy said that this place is similar to the place where the heroine used to live. It is connected to the outside world. When the portal's power weakens, everything here will be released into the outside world and become a threat. Iris asked if she herself was also a threat, and Hyun replied that since they could communicate calmly, it seemed that she was not. The young man suggested that they leave. He began to use mystical arts. He scanned the area and found that the forest was about the size of 800 football fields. The young man didn't notice much. Iris said that he was making fun of him. She asked him how he was going to get out of here. Hyun-soo replied that he would have to destroy the place. Fox was outraged by this. Suddenly, she heard a sound. Hyun asked if she was afraid of ghosts. Cheongyeon said that she was a funny mystical creature. The boy confirmed it. Iris shouted even louder and asked who was there. The boy's ears nearly exploded from the scream. Meanwhile, back at their temporary headquarters, the thieves were still waiting for the moment. They reasoned that if Hyun-soo had already won, he should have exited the portal. Bishop said that as soon as Park Hyunsoo loses, everything is going to explode. For them, 20 days have passed since Hyun entered the portal. But inside, about 2 hours have passed. Time runs differently there. An S-rank battle lasts about 20 minutes. Something was wrong. So Bishop decided to check out what was going on. Her friend asked her if more than 2 people could enter. The girl replied that they were an exception. She began to form energy to create a portal. She also ordered Jae-hyuk to follow her. The portal opened and the thieves moved. At that time, Park Hyunsoo asked Iris how long she could maintain 8 tails. The girl answered, about half a hook. In human time, that's 8 minutes. Cheongyeong noticed that time is different here. The hero said that he would gather all his inner energy, mana, and conceptualization and use mystical circulation to destroy this place. Master Cheon said that in this case, it would be better for the boy to concentrate the energy in a specific one point instead of dispersing it over a large area. Listening to the instructions was activated. The guy called for Hallie. A glove formed on his hand again. The boy pointed it upward. He began to concentrate everything in one direction. All the energy began to accumulate for a single release. The mystical circulation began to be actively used. The ground beneath his feet collapsed. Hyun-soo concentrated with all his might. The hero used the conceptualization of the mystical arts of the celestial demon. A true celestial spiritual body. A beam of incredible power plunged into the sky. Park Hyunsoo had successfully used the technique he had planned. He had just managed to awaken a new conceptualization of the mind. The sky cracked, and a small hole formed. The destruction of the mind. Cheongyeong continued to be amazed by his student. Hyun had created a unique conceptualization. Looking up at the sky, Iris was truly convinced that she was in a simulation. Hyun said that he didn't know what was coming, so the heroine should take on her stronger form. Without hesitation, the fox did so. The girl became the most powerful version of herself again. She noticed that the boy seemed to like her new form better. She said that the boy didn't have to worry. The heroes had to hurry. Iris was the first to fly into the sky. Above them, the simulation was falling apart. The boy caught up with the girl. The girl looked at the boy. He was strong and undeniable. Suddenly, Iris instantly approached Hyun-soo. She kissed him fervently. Hyun asked what she was making. The girl replied that it was her gift for saving him. She indicated that she would go first. Suddenly, the snare's heroine was stabbed with a sword. The girl was seriously injured. Iris was shocked. Jae-hyuk came out of the portal wearing knightly armor. Hunter Park was worried about the girl. But Iris tried to defend herself. She attacked the demon. Its powerful claws rushed straight towards the bastard. But the knight disappeared. The fox panicked. Hyun was worried, because according to the plan, only one person could enter the room. Suddenly, the demon in armor was already at another point, ready to attack. The heroes were furious. Without warning, the girl went into battle. Hyun could not hold her back. While flying, some flickering lights began to appear behind the girl. It was hundreds of daggers flying at the girl from the back. The heroine was caught in this barrage. The bloodied Iris began to fall. Hyun-soo became even more nervous. He didn't have time to grab her. The girl fell in the middle of the forest. The guy who flew over asked if she was okay. He begged her to open her eyes and wake up. But Iris did not answer. Behind him, a demon had already approached the boy. Pointing his sword at Hyun-soo, he said he would finish him off. The old man noticed that the boy already knew him. But the hero did not understand who he was. Suddenly, Bishop came out of the portal. She was delighted that the young man was able to recruit Iris to his side, and even create a crack in their portal. The thieves surrounded the hero. Hyun was furious. He took off the ring and gave it to the girl. He realized that Bishop was also the king's pawn. And so it was. But the woman was definitely not a pawn. Their rank was Bishop. She told him that, according to etiquette, she had to introduce herself before she killed him. Hyun-soo didn't appreciate the joke. Bishop said the guy was too rude. She began to concentrate a powerful sphere. The knight also moved to attack. Raising Iris's hand, the young man used a deflected attack. The knight's backstage was damaged, and Bishop temporarily left the game. The knight felt the damage. His helmet was unstable. The demon assured him that it would kill him. Angry, Hyun ordered the bastard to shut up. The hero punched the thief, and the knight's helmet flew off. The demon asked if Hyun didn't remember him. But the heroes immediately recognized Choi Jae-hyuk. Jae-hyuk said that he would fulfill his mission, become stronger, and kill the hero. Angry, Park Hyunsoo once again ordered him to be quiet and hit the thief. Jae-hyuk flew away from the blow. Hyun attacked again with a kick from the letter. The demon flew away once again. But not just that, the hero cut Jae-hyuk in half. In the last moments of his life, the demon said it was impossible. At that time, Iris had already woken up. She realized that Hyun-soo had healed her again. She saw the ring on his hand. The young man said that they should hurry. In a moment, the boy grabbed the girl and flew into the sky. They had to leave the place quickly before the thieves could resume. But before they left, a portal appeared again. Bishop came out of it, and she was angry. Reacting quickly, the hero threw the girl in the direction of the exit and said that she should be the first to leave. The girl flew to the exit. Park Hyunsoo said that Iris must survive. The girl flew into the rift that formed in the sky. Suddenly, hundreds of Bishop's daggers were aimed at the hero. Hyun used his own conceptualization of mind destruction. Energy fields appeared around the hero. In addition, the young man used a root kick. The young man radiated power. Bishop could not believe that he easily repelled the attack. Cheongyeong was amazed at Hyunsoo's abilities over and over again. He was glad that the hero had invented his own conceptualization. The master was pleased and did not regret taking the young man as a student. Bishop noticed that Park Hyunsoo had become much stronger than in the battle with the horse. She did not believe that a singularity could be so strong. The hero confidently stated that he would destroy all the girl's plans. The girl spoke the boy's name in anger. The hunter said that the girl had no right to say his name so boldly. Hyun said that he would not have mercy even because Bishop was a woman. The thief realized that the guy's punch would not go unchallenged, so she had to dodge. She created a portal and simply entered it. Thus, Hyun did not hit the girl, but flew past. But the hero realized that she couldn't have teleported far. He began to analyze the area. Later, The young man felt the next point of portal formation and flew there. He was approaching at an incredible speed. He was sure that he would find the girl from Znenitsk. He used the conceptualization of the mind. As soon as the girl started to emerge from the portal, Hyun used the seed punch. Bishop did not expect this development. She took a lot of damage and flew away. In flight, she saw that the hero did not stop. Park Hyunsoo was going to use the fall of the heavens. So the girl began to generate magical energy. As it turned out, the thief gathered all the vengeful spirits who had died in the portals. The monsters were directed at the young man. Bishop did not believe that the hunter would be able to defeat them. After all, the spirits were not even alive. Suddenly, Hallie turned to Hyun-soo. He said he would take care of them. The spirits flew from all directions, while Hallie cast a spell and ordered the vengeful spirits to return. He used the same sword that was supposed to free the spirits from the darkness. He ordered them to be set free and find their will. The spirits all began to disappear into space. Park Hyunsoo was stunned. Hallie declared that he had done it. The hero was surprised that the boy had done it so quickly. Cheongyeong said that the kid was incredible. Bishop saw that Hallie in the glove was absolute death. This is the ego that was born from death. This power has absolute power over the dead. The girl was scared. The hero did not stop for a moment. He used the falling heavens. Bishop was confused and at the last moment formed a shield. The shield took the blow, but was destroyed. Hyun-soo began to ridicule the girl, saying that she was not even a match for Cheongyeong or Iris. The thief was struck by a powerful current. She could do nothing and began to fall. The injured bishop called Rondell, her friend. He rescued her. The man landed the girl safely on the ground. She asked him why he was so slow, and Rondell replied that the lady had asked him to wait for her signal. So if the man was being too obedient, then Bishop ordered him to kill Hyun-soo. Rondell took to the air. Hyun asked who the hell he was. Suddenly, the man flew at super high speed toward the hero. He hit the boy with a powerful punch. Hyun was not expecting this. Rondell began to beat the young man. Hyun-soo realized that this was a melee fighter. The man continued to attack. A local hospital. Hyun-soo's friend Yoon was bringing fragrant flowers to Hyun-tae's room. When she entered the room, she greeted him and said that it was her day off, so she decided to visit. She knew that Hyun-tae wouldn't answer, but she hoped he could hear her. When she looked at the bed where Hyun-soo's brother was lying, she saw no one. This confused her greatly. Meanwhile, Iris was wandering in an unknown dimension. She did not know where to find the way out. Suddenly, she heard a voice saying that the girl could not escape from them. The same big guy stood behind her. The girl was already tired of fighting. The man stretched out his hand and wanted to kill her. But she was not going to give up. Iris attacked the thief. However, the attack did not cause any damage. The big man said that all her attempts were in vain. He hit the heroine with a virtual hand from another portal. Iris was injured. The girl said she was very angry now. After stopping the fox, the man said that her sister was alive. He said they were keeping her under observation. Iris began to remember her sister Reina. So the big man said that it was better not to resist the heroine. He added that the girl should think twice. Without waiting for an answer, the thief attacked. Suddenly, someone's voice stopped the fight. From somewhere, Hyun-tae's body appeared. The big man asked who he was and how he got here. Ignoring the thief, Hyun-tae raised his hand and began to teleport the man back home to his world. The thief could do nothing. Iris thought it was Hyun-soo. But the smell was different, so it wasn't Hyun-soo. Suddenly, Hyun-tae showed her the way. He told her to run there to get out. Iris asked again who he was, thinking it was someone from Hyun-soo's family. The character replied that this was true on the one hand, but not on the other. However, there was no time to explain. He said goodbye to the girl, and she thanked him. Iris flew into the light. She thought that someday she would repay Hyun-soo and thank him for everything he had done. Meanwhile, the hero continued to fight Ronbel. He couldn't beat the man in close combat. The man was beating the boy like a schoolboy. Later, the hunter switched to defense and tried to block the attacks. Red Bell launched attack after attack, and Hyun-soo stood in defense. But in the end, the man managed to break through the hero's defense, and the young man was hit. The boy realized that this bastard was too strong in close combat. In this case, Hyun would not be able to use the conceptualization techniques. The hunter generated a new energy bomb and demonstrated it to the enemy. There was an explosion, after which Ronbel flew away. At that time, in the middle of the forest, Bishop was trying to regain her strength. She concentrated her energy around her. She realized that if she recovered quickly, she would be able to join the battle, and together with Ronbel, they would win. The master said that Hyun-soo was chasing the wrong thing. Hyun-soo didn't understand what the master was talking about. Cheongyeong noticed that the man was attacking the boy without intending to kill him. Ronbel was wounded. Hyun-soo decided to gather himself and use the mystical arts of the heavenly demon. A bunch of energy layers formed around the man and attacked him in an instant. In a panic, Ronbel began to run away. He flew up the mountain with all his might, trying to avoid being hit. It seems that Bishop's loyalty to Bishop disappeared. The girl was outraged that her husband had fled the battlefield.